Hi, I'm Eric Gimbal, ericgimbal.com, and today, thanks to Phottix, I'm going to present you the Fujifilm X-PRO2. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/ericgimbal, and my website, ericgimbal.com. If you have any question, you can send me an email to info@ericgimbal.com. Okay, let's start. This is a rangefinder camera, okay? The main difference between a rangefinder and a reflex camera is that a reflex camera, the picture goes into the, even though mirrorless is the same way it works, it goes through the lens and then it creates what you see is what you see through the lens, okay? A rangefinder, you actually see through here, and there's a second patch here, and this way you can make the focusing on your picture, okay? But you actually, viewfinder is through here, and what you see is really the whole scene, you know? And then depending on the lens you have on the camera, then you have some small frame that indicates which part of your full frame or your full viewer is actually the picture that is being made, okay? I had two Leica M8 before this, so I know about rangefinders, digital rangefinders. There are new versions, of course, of the Leica, but you will see that I will compare several times this Fujifilm to the Leica, and also I will speak to my Olympus. Why? Because when I decided to go for Olympus when I left Canon, one option was to go to Fujifilm, and what I don't like about this camera is probably what made me decide to go to Olympus. Okay, so I'm going to give you some technical details. Maybe I'm forget some, so check Fujifilm webpage to have the all information, the specs. But actually, what I want to speak about is about the sensation, the feeling I had using this camera, and what I like or I don't like. Okay, this is an APS sensor with 24 megapixels, 8 frames per second picture rate. The autofocus is a phase detection, which is really good, 77 points, really good. Speed is up to 1/800 of a second. The ISO from 200 to 12,800, sorry. You can lower to 100, force it to 100 ISO, or push it to 25 and 51,000 ISO, okay? So I will pass some pictures and video through while I speak, okay? So you have some idea, illustration of what I'm speaking about. Okay, we're going to speak first about the Pro. Okay, first, a camera like this costs around 800 euros, just a body, or 2,000 US dollars, 2,000 or 12,000, 2,000, okay, just body. So in that range of cameras, I must say that there are no bad image camera. I mean, if you look at the standard, if you don't go to very high ISO or whatever, it's every day it's less and less significant to say, no, the pictures are better here, better there. Actually, they're all very, very similar. So it's just about what the camera gives you when it comes to using it. Fast autofocus or not, high ISO or not, how you handle the camera, if it's easy to use, practical, all this, more than the final image quality. And this is, obviously, you can change lenses, so it will also depend on the lens you are using. If it's a better lens, the image quality will be sharper or less sharp or whatever. Okay, so actually, what I'm speaking about is the sensation and the feeling I have using the camera, what I like and what I don't like, okay? So the image quality for me was really good, the colors were fine, it was good, okay? The resolution with 24 megapixels is fine, perfect, no problem. You have double SD card reader, which I think this is slots, reader and writer, okay, which is perfect. I don't think of any mirrorless camera that has dual SD card, so I think this is good. The weight and the volume is fine, okay. Obviously it depends on the lens you're using, but I think it handles quite nice. This is quite solid. This is magnesium. You have also a grip here. I think it handles really nice. For me, I like it. Okay. And the look, the retro look or Leica look, many people love it. So I come to the question, is it a Leica for poor people or an APS-C camera for rich ones? I'm not sure, okay? If you compare to Leica, in many aspects, it's more complicated to use. In other aspects, I think it's far better. If I compare the image quality to my M8, but the M8 was about 10 years ago, so the image quality is far better this one than then. Okay, the ISO is brilliant. You can go to 6400 without problem. 12,800 is still usable. So I think the quality, this is fine. Okay, what I like, you have actually 3 viewfinder in one. Okay, you have the typical optical, like the typical viewfinder, rangefinder viewfinder. You actually look and you have the frame here. You even see the lens in there. It's not a failure, it's normal. I mean, any rangefinder you will see the lens. It depends on the size of the lens, but on larger lens you will see the lens. Okay, so this is one viewfinder. Then you have a second one which is pure digital. You actually touch this switch here, and then you will see 100 digital. Then you don't see the lens here, because what you see is actually a digital screen, the same as the LCD in the back, but you see it through here. Okay, it also will see any change of aspect. It means if for example you go you put on some kind of effects or filter that are including like black and white filter, then you will see black and white image here. Okay, not if you are in optical viewfinder, but if you're in digital one, you see any aspect. Okay, then you have a dual viewfinder. You actually see the optical one, and then in a small corner you see a small patch that corresponds to the focusing patch. So actually, if you were focusing in manual, you can see the full picture, and then in the small corner here you will see a close-up of the where the focus, the autofocus is being made, or the manual focus. Okay, so you have two viewfinder in this precise moment, but I'll come back to it later. But you have these 3 viewfinder in one. Okay, the autofocus is really fast. This is a phase detection. It even with low light, I had no problem focusing. I think this is okay, nice, perfect, no problem. Okay, as any rangefinder, you can actually, if you press this button here, yeah, you have a small like switch here, but you can press it. Then you will see all the frame that are displayed, telling you which focal length it would be. Like in this case, I have the 35mm. If I press, it shows me 50, 60, and I can't remember what else. Okay, so actually before switching lenses, I could decide how it will frame in my final image. I can see it without changing the lens. The same with the Leica, same with Volander, it was the same way. Okay, Volander doesn't have digital rangefinder, but the system is the same. Okay, I check my note to make sure I don't forget anything. Okay, the construction is very solid. This is magnesium. What I said, I think is perfect. The menus they've simplified the menus. People complain that the earlier version was more complicated to use, and I must say that this is really easy. I mean, really intuitive, really nice. The menus are easy to use. Okay, you have also creative filters. You can actually put black and white or soft focus or whatever. Okay, you have several filters, but they are applied only to the JPEG version of the picture and not to the RAW version. In my Olympus, it applies to both, and then you can decide or reset the RAW to nothing, or have the effect also in the RAW file. Okay, I think this is nice for people who work in JPEG, but if you work just in RAW, this is something you don't really use anyway. Okay, the way they speak the image aspect, they use the name of their films, as Fujifilm was making film for many years and still make. You have the Provia, Velvia, all this, so it will give you the aspect of the picture, if it's more contrasty, less contrasty, softer, whatever. Okay, so the standard is the Provia in this. The flash synchro is 250th of a second, which is quite good. I like when it's high, because you can really stop when you do some strobist picture. You can actually stop the ambient light easier if you can synchronize at higher speed. Okay, so that's nice. You have two shutter in there. You have one which is mechanical that goes up to 8,000th of a second, and then you have electronic one that goes to 32,000th of a second. It's a lot. I don't know who used that for, but if you need it, it exists. Okay. And you have geotagging. You have GPS in there. You can actually geotag your pictures, and you have Wi-Fi. You also have an app that you can remotely control your camera. So these are all the good points or description of the camera. So now I'm going to speak about what I really don't like. Actually, what I don't like about this camera and the X-T1 actually reviewed a few months ago is what made me decide to go for Olympus when I left Canon. Okay, so I will also compare some part to Olympus. Okay. Well, to set the ISO, you have to lift the small wheel, the speed wheel, and then in there you have a small window with the ISO. You can be an automatic, you have 3 automatic, the fully automatic, then you have a low automatic. You could set that it goes from 200 to 800 ISO, for example, or the high, say it starts from 3200 to 51,000, for example. No? Okay, so you set it in your menu, and then you have full automatic that it will pick what decides. If you want full automatic camera, so the ISO here, I think this is not practical because nowadays when you use digital, you're changing ISO all the time. Okay, so it must be really easy to access. I'm not too sure about how this will survive during so many years, if you want to keep it several years, because it's quite mechanical, so I'm not convinced. Okay, I think it would be easier to have a dedicated button. They wanted to make it simple and not look like a piano, but I think this is not practical. Also, if your speed is like this, then the ISO number are upside down. This is really not practical. Also, it's true you can check on the screen when you change it, but with low light you don't see anything. You don't see really what you're doing. Okay, so I don't really like that. Then for me the most stupid thing, I already said it with the X-T1, is that let's say I want to make a picture at 125th of a second. Okay. And then I say, no, 125th, no, I want 2/3 more, which would be 1/200. This does not appear on the wheel, okay? So actually I have to be on 125, then use this small wheel in the front to go up to 200. So don't forget that these cameras are thought for street photography. So you can use it for landscape, obviously, so you don't have that rush. But if you're actually on street photography, you see the picture, you want to make it now, and if you have to go, if 1/200 was not correct, you need 250th of a second, then you have to go back to this wheel at the top. So this is useless. This is not practical. On the Leica, you have the third or the half speed, I can't remember, on the same wheel. On my Olympus, you don't have any figures there, nothing written. You just turn the wheel and it goes third to third, okay? And that's it. You don't have to check anything. Manually, you just move. As you frame, you just move and you do it, okay? And this is, so I think this Fujifilm is designed by sellers, by marketing people, and then it's developed by engineers, but there are no photographers there. I mean, they will tell me I'm wrong, but honestly, I think any serious photographer that has used a rangefinder in his life will find this not practical at all. And anyone who has used my Olympus or similar or any reflex camera that is so easy to change speeds without going to 2 buttons. I mean, if I look at basic reflex cameras, when you have to have 2 buttons to change the aperture because you don't have a dedicated wheel, this is already a pain, okay? So imagine on this price, you don't have this. This is stupid. This is really, really not practical, okay? Then for me, the worst thing is I check the focusing, so it focuses really well. And then I thought, oh, I'm going to do this kind of bokeh picture. So I wanted the picture that goes now. I wanted to make a picture of my finger, like my thumb. So what I did is I focused on it. It would not focus. I said, that's strange. So I switched on this small overlay viewer, a digital viewer, to have it in the corner there. I noticed that although my finger was in the patch, it would not appear in the small corner in the digital viewer. So I moved, here you have a small joystick, which is really easy to use, okay? To change the focusing point at selected, and then it would not match either. So I remember when I used my Leica M8, if I would do this picture, I would manual focus on my finger, and then I would move like this to reframe, and then my finger will be in focus. Although, unless it will be really close and really wide aperture, as the diagonal distance would be a bit different than the straight one. But this is not due to the camera, this is geometry, okay? So I wanted to do this like this, it was impossible. So the digital patch does not match the central patch, the optical patch, when you are very close. So it means if you're doing street photography and further photography, there's no problem with that. But let's say I'm doing social reportage and I want to make this flower appear in the corner of my picture. Then I want to focus on this and this have the rest unfocused. Or like the rings, I'm doing a wedding, for example, okay? Well, no way, no way. So the only way is to go for pure digital viewer. Then yes, it will focus exactly, I will see exactly what I will get. But then why am I paying this extra price for rangefinder if I cannot use it always, as any rangefinder as they've always existed? So I think this is really a big mistake from Fuji on this camera. Normally, people who use these cameras, they're on street or social. They want action. They want something fast, quick, easy. You cannot make mistake. You must be able to change speed really fast, not 2 buttons. If you focus on this is focused. Not, I don't have to check and change the viewer or this to be able to focus. I mean, this is stupid. This is really nonsense, okay? Then, the price. The price is far too high. I mean, I saw a review that the guy compares to the Nikon 7200 and it cost about 600 euros less. And the quality of the image is very similar. It's also an APS-C sensor. So I think we're paying a lot. This is paying a lot of extra for a rangefinder that does not work like a rangefinder should do. Okay, so I think this is far too high. Okay, then there is no image stabilization in the body. This is why I bought the Olympus that has body image stabilization. It means any lens you can put on your camera, even with an adapter, will be stabilized. On this, not. You need the OIS with optical image stabilization lenses, which are more expensive, and also you cannot use older lens. If you have Leica lens, you have an adapter and you can use it on your Fuji, but then it's not stabilized. Okay, so I think this is not the right decision they took at Olympus. At Fujifilm, not to put an image stabilization in the body. Panasonic has the same problem. They have image stabilization in the lenses, not in the body. So I think this is a wrong decision on both companies. Okay, but for this price, I think they could do it better. Okay. The video. These cameras are not thought for videos, although they can do videos. But I can show you why they're not thought for videos. First, you don't have a dedicated button for videos. You can press the function button. This is by default. This is configured that if you click on it, it starts recording. But for example, my viewer, it will not show the 16/9 frame until I start recording. And if I want to frame before, I have my photography frame. I don't have my video frame. Only when I press, then the video frame appears. And this is stupid. I mean, all these cameras now, they all have videos minimum service, and this one has less than a minimum service. I mean, they could have a dedicated button or dedicated frame option. Okay, the screen is nice, but it's not touchable screen, which is really strange because nowadays they all have touchable screens, and you cannot you cannot tilt it, you cannot swivel, you cannot do anything. It's fixed screen. So I think this is really strange. Okay, then here you have the diopter button to change the diopter on your camera. Normally, all cameras try to hide it as much as you can so you don't accidentally touch it. And I saw a review. I didn't put the strap on the camera, so I did not have the problem. But I saw a review, and the guy says that several times the strap he's using was moving the diopter. So it was looking through the finder and saying, "Well, strange. There's something wrong with the lens." It actually moved. So I think it's wrongly placed. Okay, this is not placed where it should go. Okay. Then also you have this you can compensate the exposure here. It goes from -3 to +3 on the button, but actually the camera is able to do -5 +5. So why do they do a button that goes -5 +5? Well, it depends on the kind of obturation, or if you're a digital viewer. I can't remember the story. I didn't read fully, but this is another nonsense from Fujifilm. Why does it not reflect what the camera allows to do? Okay, the camera comes so what else? The battery life is really short, like any mirrorless camera. It is really short, so I think for that price they could put a second battery in the kit. Okay, it comes without flash, so when there's no integrated flash, so for me it doesn't really bothers me, because when I was using Canon 5D Mark II and Mark III, there is no flash there. But then when I bought the Olympus OMD E5 Mark II, it has no flash integrated either, integrated flash, but they give you a small external flash. You can push it in. It's a small flash, but you have it. And the camera costs about 600 euros less. Okay, this is not APS, it's micro four third. Okay, but I think for the price difference, I mean, this is really incredible. Okay, what else should I say? Well, for me, this camera is not a Leica, because the rangefinder doesn't work as well. It's a lot cheaper, about 4,000 euros less. That's true. Okay. It has autofocus, yes, but if I compare to this smaller mirrorless, like either the Sony or the Olympus, I think this camera is the best. I mean, they're selling a lot of them. People are convinced this is a good camera, and it's true, this is a good camera, but this is not a practical camera. And when you are making pictures, you want a practical camera with easy access to any button. So this is okay for landscape. No rush, you put on tripod, or even without tripod, you have no rush, you have your time, you organize everything, you make your picture, that's fine. But if you speak about street photography, you don't have this feel you have with this feeling you have with Leica, okay? And Leica is simpler than this. And you don't have either the feeling you have with my Olympus, okay, or any reflex. The good thing is the size, but if you want the size, you have the Sony the A6000, which has a size like this or smaller. And so I think it's really a hype. They're selling this camera because the look is great, the image quality is great, but people should realize that many other cameras doing exactly the same quality of image. Okay, so would I buy this? No, I wouldn't. No way, no way. It's not practical to use. It's a nice camera, but it's not practical to use. And I don't know why many other people have complained about this, about the ISO button, all this. I don't know why Fujifilm has not worked on that. They should speak to photographers, street photographers, Leica fanatic. Give them this camera and tell them, what would you change on this? I'm sure the first thing they would change is this dual wheel need for changing speed, because this is stupid. This is really not easy to use. I know many people are really happy with Fujifilm. Yes, the image quality is nice. Yes, maybe they come from reflex, heavy reflex camera, so they think this is great, this is small, this is easy to use. Yes, but if they would use some other mirrorless camera, they would realize that this is not practical. This is not how it should be. Not for that price. Not for that price. This is not how it should be. This is my opinion. Many people are going to flame me saying how can I say that? Okay, I do not criticize the image quality, okay? But I think this is not practical to use. And if you doubt it, just try any other camera. You will love the feel, the weight, but I guarantee if you're in a rush, you will see the difference and you will see that you miss some picture just because the way this is set up. Okay? Thank you very much to Photosura for sending me letting me the camera so I could try it. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/ericgibaud, and my website ericgibaud.com. If you have any question, you can send me an email to info@ericgibaud.com. My Facebook, facebook.com/ericgibaudphoto, my Instagram @gibaud, my Twitter ericgibaud, my Google plus ericgibaud. Thank you very much and see you soon.